Ooh. Ah. Ooh. E. Ew. Ah. E. E. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Wow. Well, you know, sometimes people wake up with the expectation. Some people wake up with it on their mind at any given point in time. They can get what they want based off of bits and pieces and crumbs of information. And then other times it's about as simple as you could possibly get it in ways that only the true could possibly understand. And at the end of it, I wish I could sit here and say I'm shocked, but I'm really not. All it takes for simple understanding is just for us to reach a point. I was watching your new video. Yeah. Sorry I had to take you away from that to go live, but it needed to be done. But before that, I am the champion of Uno. I was lured in to an Uno game before, but I didn't have any time to prepare. I didn't have any time to strategize, went in and won. What are we going to learn today? Oh, nothing. Just that a lot of people have expectations. And those expectations not really going to play out the way people want. Because before about 2 hours ago, a lot of people were sitting on their hands and knees, on eggshells really, waiting for the update upon updates about old Karmelo Anthony, in the expectation that either, depending on which side you're on, either he's going to get a new trial or he's not getting a new trial. And I'm gonna be honest, after the first day, I wasn't too set on there being a new trial because it screamed to me, it just screamed to me there wasn't going to be enough for a judge, whether new or previous, to say, yeah, we got to do a new trial. Because a lot of people, if you watch my video that I just uploaded, you'll see, a lot of people were fixated on the prior behavior of all of these young men. And conveniently, all of these people had the same excuse. They had the exact same excuse. This don't matter. This was years ago. Why even bother bringing this up? When you do that, you explain to everybody, hi heaven, you explain to everybody that it was a good idea for the prosecution and the defense to agree to not bring any of this shit up. Oh, but Karmelo was talking about wanting to stab people. Yeah. And these Metcalf boys, despite how many people tried to paint them out as just rosy-cheeked leaders who've done no wrong, yeah, they racist. Whoops. And guess what? A defense and a prosecution can use all of that to try to swing a jury. You could disagree all you want, but that's exactly what they could do. What happened? Okay, cliff notes for you, Heaven. One day last year, a young man by the name of Karmelo Anthony stabbed and killed another young man named Austin Metcalf. And for a full year, we've had people either justifying it, making excuses for it, trying to understand what happened. And then we had the trial, and Karmelo Anthony was found guilty. He got 35 years. He tried to fight for an appeal and get a retrial. And as of 4 hours ago, they're not getting a retrial. That's your cliff notes. If I were to sit here and dedicate real time telling you this bit by bit, you would probably be disgusted with a lot of humanity. You know what? I'm going to tell you one thing, though. At some point throughout the middle of all of this, a bunch of racists tried to get a grieving father to join them in their racism, and the father told them no. The father told them no, and these racists told that father, hey, there are going to be more dead white kids because of you. To me, that's my favorite part of all of this. It's trying to get a guy to join you on hateful rhetoric, and he tells you no, and you tell him more dead white kids are going to occur because of you. And shock of all shocks, more dead white kids did occur, but it was at the hands of other white kids. I don't think a lot of these people thought that one through. I don't think in the process of us discussing what could occur and what couldn't occur, I don't think a lot of people thought that through. What? Yeah, that's what happened. Listen, the saga of Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf spans an entire year. Whatever you don't know about, don't worry. I know about it. They are the cause of their own worries. I mean, it's kind of crazy how, a black kid kills a white kid, and the idea is more white kids are going to die because of a grieving white father not wanting to spout racism at the time. And then all of these people ignore the vast amount of white violence that has occurred. Mind you, let's think about this. Everybody think about this. Heaven, cover your ears. You're eating Wingstop. Don't listen for about 30 seconds. Mind you, none of these people who said that have anything to say about Lindsay Clancy killing her kids. Like, let's think about this. A white woman kills her kids. Where are any of these people? Come on. Just drove through Mississippi and Louisiana. Can confirm there's an active race war. No, there's not. No, there's not. And that's another thing. I ain't gonna say a lot of people. It was arguably one guy trying really hard to think that there was going to be a race war. Matter of fact, I wonder, can I still see it? How many? Like the race war is on. The race wars are coming. The race war just begun. Which is it? Like, which is it? Like, it's on. It's coming. It's just began. When's it gonna start? Because I want to hang out with the Mexicans in Mexico and just watch it all play out. You know what I'm saying? I heard they're about to give that woman 2 life sentences. Who knows? Because either way belongs in jail. Like, just belongs in jail. That my thought process. Like, I saw a video. I shit you not. 20 minutes ago, before I turned on this stream, I saw a video of a woman on TikTok with a picture of the 3 murdered children. And she starts it with, don't think of these kids as kids. Think of them as vases. I turned the video off. I will not subject myself to something like that. I had to stomach hearing about how these kids were taken from this earth. And a dumbass wants me to look at those children as furniture. Not doing it. Can't do it. Won't do it. No, you can't make me. You can't make me, Mom. I won't do it, Mom. I won't do it, Mom. You can't make me. Wait, Heaven, what wings are you eating? I will judge you now. Like, before we keep going, Heaven, enlighten us. What wings? What wings? Guess the TikTokers are going back to Nolan. Mm-hmm. You know what's crazy? I mentioned it in the video, and I bring up that these were the people who said that this Cito call has all the evidence, and now they're saying it might have been fake. So it's like, pick one, please. Can we pick one? Y'all think Clavicula could have prevented all this? Didn't he drug a woman? I don't like. Did he or didn't he drug a woman on stream? Spicy Korean? Should I judge you? It's like I should, but it's like, nah, because I do like a little spice in my life. You know what, Heaven? You live to see another day. Yeah, Clavicula fucking injected a needle into a woman on a stream. You're just trying to hate on me? No, I had to think about it. I had to decide if you deserve to be in the fucking gulag or not. And you don't. You live to... Oh, wrong button. You survive yet another day. Love that I got an ad for a psychic app. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But now let's read. Let's read for our own. Who the fuck? I get that y'all got to sketch people, but oh my God, y'all don't do a good job. A Texas judge denied a new trial for Karmelo Anthony on Saturday in the stabbing death of 17-year-old athlete at a high school track meet, a killing that drew national attention and led to harassment of the families. Anthony, 19, was convicted of murder in June and sentenced to 35 years in prison for the April 2025 killing of Austin Metcalf. Judge Michael Chitty denied, that's a name that'll get a lot of people in trouble depending on the circumstances, denied the retrial motion in a half-page order following a 2-day hearing this week near Dallas, citing a review of the evidence and arguments. He did not elaborate. Russell Wilson, not the football player, Anthony's attorney, said the defense would appeal. So they could just keep coming. Wait. They could just keep coming back with appeals. Wait. So if they could just keep coming back with appeals, what's the strategy now? Because I feel like all of what was needed to be brought up was throughout these 2 days. The fixation on the deal and how that deal could have fucked over a lot of evidence. The backgrounds of all of these young men. What else you got? Because if you appealed the rejection of a new trial, they appealed to a higher court. But what could you bring to a higher court? And honestly, now that I know that, again, there's still a chance they could get it. Like, you take it to a higher court, and the higher court looks at it and says, this ain't square. I mean, what could any of us do? Nothing but sit back and watch. Our commitment to our client has not changed. We will continue to advocate vigorously on his behalf through every lawful avenue available. Prosecutor Bill Wiersky defended the trial as fair this week. Because that's another thing. The expectation a lot of people had was kind of ludicrous. Waste more money and more time. Again, like, it could all work out. I just love the fact that I told you all, it's either going to be Texas is racist or Texas is woke. And I ain't gonna lie, just off the muscle, I kind of wanted a bunch of people to start screaming Texas is going woke, just so that could fall on its face. Because a lot of motherfuckers like banking on that. In Texas, unlikely that a higher court would do it. Or maybe the Supreme Court could help. That's an option. The Supreme Court could absolutely try to help. I love the fact that y'all could see like the bottom of my screen and there's Grand Theft Auto 4 and this fucking Pokemon emulator or ROM or whatever the fuck that just dropped like a couple of days ago. You know, everybody wonders what I do in my spare time. I'm either playing Grand Theft Auto 4 or I'm playing Pokemon. We respect and expected the court's decision denying the motion for a new trial. The jury's guilty verdict stands, and we remain confident in the process. Every defendant has a right to appeal, and our thoughts and prayers are with the Metcalf family in the painful wake of last week's hearing. Anthony's attorneys also demanded a retrial because they said that the trial judge John Roach's courtroom rules were so strict that they limited the public's access to the proceedings. Something I just did! Stress! I just didn't do it on camera. You know what? I'm gonna give you what you want. Stop yelling. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. I yelled. I got too animated. I'm off a high, man. I'm off a high. I'm sorry. But you. I'm sorry. I'm I drank the water. I gave you what you wanted. I'm sorry. Weak indeed. Hydrate harder. Okay, now we're losing it. Leon stopping his yelling, preposterous. Hey, I could if asked nicely. What's good, my nigga? Well, he ain't getting out. Also, happy birthday, Zamaria. Don't think I forgot. We might be like days late, but, we might be days late. But, you told us it was one day, and we all took like a couple day break, but good on you. Anthony's attorneys also demanded a retrial because they said the trial judge John Rhodes' courtroom rules were so strict that they limited the public's access to the proceedings. See, I don't get this. Personally, I don't get this. You wanted a retrial because the public didn't have access to the proceedings. I would make the subtle argument that it's a good thing a bunch of people were not able to be in that courtroom, because I just have this unique fear these people would have made it a fucking circus. And my evidence is everything that happened outside. These motherfuckers was bouncing around, dancing around, arguing with each other, screaming about shit. I don't trust that any of these people, whether if you were on the side of Austin Metcalf or Carmelo Anthony, would have respected the courtroom. Jake Lang was out there, and that motherfucker talked about wanting to kill Carmelo. I don't want these people in this courtroom. I'm sorry. I don't want any of them in there. Because all they would have did is made this shit more of a circus than it already was. Like in any regard. And no, we haven't found the magical cleat sharpener yet. And in asking for Roach's recusal, they noted that he gave a post-trial interview with the Dallas TV station in which he said the jury got it right, which could be looked at as a problem, but maybe, regardless, it don't matter because they got a new judge. And I told y'all, small victory in getting a new judge. The real problem and the real battle, fight, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, the uphill battle was next. Getting a new judge would have been the easy part. Trying to convince these people to give you a new trial was going to be hard. And I fear that they whiffed. Rhodes said his rules were necessary for a fair trial, and prosecutors insisted he did nothing wrong. The case attracted widespread attention, in part because of the flood of social media posts that amplified the killing in racial terms. Anthony is black and Metcalf is white. Lawyers on both sides, however, told jurors that the case had nothing to do with race. And when you look at these motherfuckers and their backgrounds, I don't know why the defense agreed to this shit. You could have had a stronger chance in getting this dude to walk scot-free if you played the race card. Like, I'm going to say it. If you played the race card, you might have had a significant chance in letting him walk. Because if you bring up how these dudes was bullying black people, putting racist graffiti on walls, and bullying other people, there's a chance you could sway that jury. And I know one of y'all don't want to hear it, but I don't give a fuck what you want to hear. It's an obvious tactic that a defense could have used, but they didn't. And the prosecution could have swung back and combed through all these text messages Carmelo got, stalking his girlfriend, talking about beating his girlfriend, his fixation with knives and all this shit. And they could have used that against Carmelo. The takeaway everybody need to have, the takeaway is that all three of these motherfuckers was fucked up. And here go the excuses. The claims unconfirmed against Austin and his brother happened years ago with no evidence. Cool. First of all, bullshit. Not true. They combed through school records to get all that. Just like they did with Carmelo. This is the sick part. Austin and Carmelo got records to prove that they both went to behavioral camps. What are we doing? Like, what I take from this, they always gonna end up in jail at some point. All of these motherfuckers was gonna end up in jail because they all fucked up. but one's dead because of another one who is in jail, and the one who's alive and free better be walking with a straight-laced face from now on. This shit ain't up to par. These motherfuckers, all of these motherfuckers, to me, if they was all still alive and they made it to their adult years, we're all gonna end up in jail. Oh, but this was years ago. These texts don't matter. All the excuses you want to throw out, throw them out. All it's going to do is amplify my thought process in how it was a good idea the prosecution and defense agreed to not bring anything up and just keep it. What happened that day? They could just agree to keep it to what happened that day, nothing else. You do anything else, you make this 10 times worse for whoever at the end of it. Because remember, the Metcalf boys, upstanding, young men, leaders, all that shit. Now that's out the window. Karmelo, the weak black boy who had to defend himself against these white boys, that's out the window. They all pieces of shit. It's just one got caught because he killed one with a knife. Whoops. Whoops. And now, what do we got? We got a dead kid. We got one in jail. And one that's free and alive. Better be walking with a straight-laced face from now on. But now, let's start piling through the reactions. Because obviously, from now on, all of these people who are talking about Karmelo, until they try to bring it to a higher court, they're going back to Nolan Wells. They're going back to Nolan Wells. And I've strayed away from the topic because we're not getting anything substantial. All we're getting in the topic of Nolan Wells is a bunch of people looking at all the claims they made previous and saying, oh, well, what about this and what about that? Or maybe this or maybe that. They're changing the story of the shit they birthed out. Also, can we stop with the boots on the ground thing if you're not actually doing anything? Like, if you're just standing there recording with your phone, making sure everyone knows that you're there, that's not boots on the ground. That's you performing. That's you performing. Oh. Remember the claim of racism was a TikTok talking point, so it wasn't relevant? Okay, now I got to start playing this game with you. You're choosing me. You're choosing me of all people. I'm going to give you homework. And if you don't agree to do it, I'm banning you from my chat. Go to wrong button. Go to NBC DFW. Type in Karmelo Anthony. Find the blog feed and start combing through all of this. Your TikTok point doesn't matter. This is what the prosecution and the defense found out. The TikTok journalists don't matter here. What's on the screen ain't got nothing to do with TikTok journalists. It's up to you. You can choose to do homework, or you can choose to try to make me say something that I'm not going to say. Because guess what? All of this shit would have been relevant to bring up. The prosecution and the defense, they had all the background knowledge about all these motherfuckers and school records. I don't give a fuck about TikTok journalists. School records mean more. The track record of all these motherfuckers, easy to bring up once you find all that shit out. And if you're not committed to going through day 1 of this retrial hearing and day 2, goodbye. Because I don't waste too much energy unless it's to mock a bunch of motherfuckers who are just willingly not able to read. Because the reason I stand firm in the shit that I've said throughout, how long have I been true? These 20 minutes is because I read through all of this. I dedicated real time to boring. I'm going to dedicate time. Let's put that back. I'm going to dedicate time to bullshit. But the reason I'm going to do that secondary is because what I did first is worry about the prosecution and their process and the defense and their process. And in none of the boring, actual, real information, TikTok is brought up. Scratch that. TikTok is brought up one time, and it's to bring up how one of these motherfuckers was just going, I think, what's her name? Tiffany Billions was going around spreading lie after lie and misinformation. So you have a choice. You could read, or I could get rid of you. Those are your options.
The new judge in the Karmelo Anthony case has denied his appeal for a new trial, even knowing that the jury was not reflective of anyone that looked like Karmelo Anthony. Even after knowing that the gentleman's agreement that essentially didn't allow evidence that was important in the trial of Austin Metcalf
and Karmelo Anthony
being absolutely blatantly racist and problematic,
and Karmelo Anthony
was not able to be presented, and it needed to be, and Karmelo Anthony was not allowed to testify on his own behalf in the trial because of this closed door gentleman's agreement. Even though it's clear that the jury instructions actively worked against Karmelo Anthony's main argument, which was self-defense. But Karmelo Anthony's new defense team is not backing down. They said that this is not going to prevent them from continuing to make sure that there is justice in this case with Karmelo Anthony.
But it's going to be an uphill battle. It's going to be an uphill battle for you, my guy. It's going to be. You're going to try real hard, but it's going to be. Why are you coming out of one ear? I apologize for anybody with headphones.
You guys, Karmelo Anthony will not be receiving a new trial. Again, he will not be receiving. The judge denied his request for a new trial. So as for now, his 35-year sentence still stands. I do know that they can appeal it. They can take it up to higher courts. They can take it to the appellate court, So there are options outside of this. The only thing that I have to say is that there was a lot of things that was brought out about the case, and we see how they were able to make this whole gentleman's agreement, and they just it really messed up the case. It messed up the trust that we had in the case too. And I mean, I still feel as though they did railroad Karmelo.
Oh, how so?
Because I feel like he could have got a lesser charge.
Yes, and they had that option to give it to him, and they didn't give it to him.
It's not that he should not have gotten anything, because, yes, he took a life. And
yes.
Then if you look at the text messages that Karmelo is being accused of sending and writing or whatever, and on top of, then you got Austin's background as well. Both of them was some angry-ass boys, if you ask me. And while Karmelo, yes.
Thank you. Yeah, but with Zodiac sign is Karmelo. Bro, do not make me deviate. Do not make me deviate to Lindsay Clancy. Because you white women, for as much as I saw motherfuckers be like, it's a bunch of black people cheering on a murderer, I got white fucking fatigue. Because ain't no way in hell y'all gonna sit here and claim, oh, black fatigue is when these motherfuckers cheer on a fucking murderer. And then these fucking whites cheering on a murderer. Oh, fuck. You see those women bringing their kids to this. Bro, I saw women. I shit you not. I saw women holding their children and saying, Lindsay, I understand you. Huh? Huh? Who? Huh? Woo? What you mean? You understand? What you mean, bro? Like what you mean? I'm watching bitches hold kids saying, Lindsay, I understand. Like, stop. Because if you truly understand, never mind.
Trigger warning, this is sad news about the Karmelo Anthony trial. Once again, trigger warning, this is sad news about the Karmelo Anthony trial. Apparently,
what the fuck is the trigger?
the judge has denied giving Carmelo Anthony a new trial. Now, yesterday, we know he was speaking as if he was going to wait over the weekend and weigh out all of the options. Well, apparently today, he has decided not to give Carmelo Anthony a new trial. Now, we know new information that's came out about the Metcalf twins and how their background was a little sketchy. And also, to be fair, there has been some text messages that dropped, even though people tried to say that it was a week before the situation. It was actually more.
There's the caveat of excuses. A caveat of excuses. Oh, this was a week before. These was years ago. This was months before. It don't matter! What matters is the fact that they were going to pull background on all of these people in an effort to swing the jury in their favor. You ditz dumb fucks don't understand that because you just wanted it to skip to the end. But the boring process of a court proceeding does not work in your quick, fast instance. It works long and boring. And when they decided, hey, let's not do this. Let's just agree to not bring up any of this shit. And bring it up.
More than a year and a half old, but they used those as evidence. This is a sad situation because Carmelo Anthony did not have proper representation the first time. Regardless of
it was just, that's translation for he didn't have black people. And hey, remember what they said? It's the dream team. They got the dream team of lawyers, and they lost with the option to go back in and appeal again and again and again and again. Let's think about it. Let's work the scenario. They go through a higher court of appeal and the higher court strikes it down. Then what? Is it the Supreme Court? And then if they go to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court knocks it down, then what? Like, I'm working with the expectation of what they have now is what they'll bring later. And maybe they try to swing it and convince a higher court or maybe even the Supreme Court of looking at this and saying this was unfair. And when I say this is unfair, hopefully they just keep it to this agreement, not, oh, they didn't let people into the courtroom. Because I feel like if they bring that up, that's not going to work. It's not going to be favorable to them. It's not. I wish that these people could get the outcome that they want. But when they don't and they explain their feelings about it, well, of course nobody's gonna fucking agree to this shit or give you a new trial. Look what you complaining about. You complaining that people weren't allowed in, and you're also fixated on this deal, which arguably still works in these motherfuckers' favor. Like, just keeping it to that day, I'm sorry, works way better. Because it would have been something to where the prosecution would have used this shit against Karmelo and the defense would have used this shit against the Metcalfs. And it just would have been a bunch of people being like, why are they bringing this? What I'm saying is what's already happening. Why are they bringing this up? Why are they bringing that up? This was years ago. This was months ago. This was last week. This was yesterday. It has no relevance. That's all you're seeing. That's what you saw from the last 3 days of people running around saying this don't matter. Why bring this up? Well, because children who think they figured out law because they watch Law and Order NCIS edition, you have to use everything possible to convince a jury to agree with you. And a background into history would have been something significant, whether you like it or not. And might I add, nobody gives a fuck about what any of y'all like or not. What mattered for the prosecution is getting a guilty. What mattered for the defense was getting a not guilty. And the prosecution won. They got him on 35 years. And when they got rid of the white defense attorney and brought in the all-black defense dream team, the prosecution won again. And they didn't get a new trial. The one Lindsay supporter video that got me was she recorded herself crying. Was Lindsay. Okay, so I don't mean to cut that off. There's a video of somebody trying to solve the case of Lindsay Clancy, and they're using Bratz dolls. Like, and I'm seeing people be like, have you seen the Bratz doll theory? And it's just like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Dead? Yes, dead. Are we going to have to do it? Are we? Are we going to have to do it? We Are Lindsay Clancy is crazy. Like, don't use my childhood. Mm-hmm. Like, we gonna comb through the reactions of the Karmelo Anthony first. I will not let y'all sidetrack me too far. But then once we're done, we gonna have to decide if we gonna have to watch that on stream or not.
What I honestly think, and I try to keep my opinions out of these situations.
No, you don't.
I think it's a good old boys game. I think regardless of if you change the judge or what, unless you go to somebody higher who is not in the little lunchtime boys clique.
They changed the judge. You got what you wanted. You got a new judge because y'all ran with this unconfirmed, debunked lie that all these people knew each other. Then you got a new judge to get any type of ties, personal, business-wise, out of it, and you still didn't get your outcome. So what if they go to a higher court? What if they go to a higher court and they still reject it? Then what? Is it? I know what it is. It's a white justice system, and then we're just gonna go at that point.
That city, town, jurisdiction, then you are gonna keep getting the same outcome because their kids grew up together. They have lunch together. They go on dinner dates together. They have cookouts together. So regardless of what, the outcome is still going to be the same. They are looking at this situation as if someone who they appear to be less than, aka a black boy, did something foul to one of their own, and they are trying to make an example. That's honestly how I feel. And honestly, it's...
Did you see the mom sitting in Stop trying to get me to sidetrack. Did you see the mom sitting in the crib with her baby pretending to scream at the baby? And like, this is what irks me. And before I say it, fuck the one dude who tried to argue with me in comparing Trey Reed to Lindsay Clancy, because you cannot compare someone killing themselves to someone killing children. Sorry. Good try, though. Postpartum is a significant thing for women who give birth. It is. Like, it just is. Like, spare me your red pill talking point. That is a human who is growing a human and going through a bunch of things, body-wise, hormone-wise, changing. And then they're going through a process that I'll never experience that, you know, I'm going to guess, you know, ladies, if there are any watching, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is excruciating. You're pushing a human out of you. I can understand how afterwards, mentally, it's going to take a toll on you. However, what's confusing me, the amount of women who say that they understand Lindsay. Lindsay killed her kids. What do you understand? To my knowledge, you haven't killed your kids, and you haven't done anything to your children. You probably have suffered mentally, and it's eating you. Understandable. But until you take that drastic next step, no, I don't see you being the same as Lindsay. I see you being better than Lindsay.
Become tiring, okay? I'm just here to bring y'all the news.
You didn't bring the news. You brought us personal.
My name is Courtney of Courthouse Couture. I'm a lawyer, but not your lawyer. And yes, I've been practicing law for 16 years in the state of Texas. And behind me, I have the order denying the new trial of Karmelo Anthony. After a 2-day, very detailed motion for new trial hearing, for Karmelo Anthony's new legal team established a legal record in a case that didn't have one. A case where there were no pretrial motions, seemingly no exchange of discovery, a very ambiguous gentleman's agreement or agreements resulted in Karmelo Anthony not testifying. Judge Chitty felt there was no need or cause for a new trial. This case has obviously been very polarizing, and even though Judge Roach, the initial judge in the Karmelo Anthony trial, didn't feel that race was a factor, It definitely was. But I can tell you that about 90 to 95% of criminal cases are actually resolved through plea bargain rather than trial. And that's one of the reasons that motions for new trial are very rare. The next steps for this case could literally include direct appeal. One of the things that I understood when this case started is that there is no winner in a murder trial. One family.
Small victories matter, yeah. And for the side that has a dead child, they're happy because, the person who killed him is in jail. Y'all remember when this shit first kicked off and he actually got sentenced and all these family members started reading impact statements to this dude while he in the room? It's just like, ugh, shit. They meant that they was gonna make him feel that.
Has obviously lost a loved one. One family is concerned about fate of their loved one. Adding the circumstances in this case, there's no real winners at the end of the day. The online discussion around this has
been dog shit.
Interesting. What I can tell you is part of the reason that I tried to remain unbiased and I really tried to think through this case, because the same year that I became a lawyer, my own cousin was brutally murdered. She was 8.5 months pregnant. She died. Her unborn baby died. Her fiance was murdered as well. It was all over TV, even on Nancy Grace. I understood from a deep place, this is not a case that you can talk about like it's a football game. It's going to be interesting to see.
Well, unfortunately, people did. And people did that for a full year. Everybody had their sides. Everybody ignored information. Everybody just came to their conclusions. And depending on the outcome, which was the trial, whoever picked the side was either going to be happy or mad. They were going to cry woke or they were going to cry racism. That's just how that shit would have went down. Me, because Karmelo's conviction is getting overturned in appeals court. Racist, stay tuned. Have we gotten an update? Wait a minute.
Oh, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Why is the audio not playing? What are you doing to me?
Because all the racist white people can gather out and do their fucking Klan meeting and go and show the world just how racist they are.
Why is the first thing your boy not free with the fucking emote? Why? What? Wait, 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago, we found out that this shit got
tournament style up and down on the ground. Monja, plonja, blonja, bonja is.
I'ma just turn that off. You know what? Turn it back on.
Bricka, bracka, flacka, stacka, tooton, rerun, free for all, big ball.
Did you have fun with that? You thought that was funny? You thought that was great? You thought that was a good time? You thought that was great? You thought in a moment where I'm relaxing and streaming to come in with your little raid of people? Well, I hope you enjoyed your stream. I hope you enjoyed playing Big Walk BB. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you live lavish in your little VTubing life. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of us, we're going to talk about murder. Leon didn't want a big walk with us. Absolutely not. And I stand by what I said. I stand by what I said. Skelly wasted my time and I deleted Big Walk. I got Big Walk for free. And I was originally going to play with Skelly, and Skelly wasted my time, and I deleted Big Walk. I'm not downloading that game again. Sorry, Chiggy. I'll play any other game with you, Chiggy. I'm not playing Big Walk. I'm just not. I don't have the energy to do it.
They profusely profess not to be. But
now back to murder. Uno? I would play Uno. I would indeed play Uno again.
I'm very happy, very fucking happy, because Karmelo's conviction is going to get overturned. Everything that his lawyers pointed out in that hearing, so many missteps were done, and just clear-cut instances of corruption. The case was completely riddled from the inside out, eaten up like wormwood with corruption. They go to the Fifth Circuit Court, to the appellate court. He's getting that bitch overturned.
But you said all that with the original attempt at a retrial. Y'all said all this with that attempt. Y'all had the confidence to say it then, and now you've kind of had to walk it back just a little bit. But now you're living in this idea that maybe, just maybe, we could turn it all around for the long run.
He's walking home. they're not going to retry him because it's going to be overturned. Like, in fact, it's going to be so funny because they had an opportunity. They wanted to be racist. They wanted to be corrupt.
Where's the racism? You got the new judge. Like, is it only racism because you didn't get the outcome that you wanted? Yes. Okay.
That's fine. I saw the my base. I know my cards told me. I know what I feel in my spirit. I know what the ancestors speak to me because, black people are very spiritual. White people, they don't understand this. It's a black spiritual type thing. Karmelo's walking free, like I said. So I'm happy because his story is going to break open the racist, fucking corrupt systems of...
I thought it already did that the first time when he got sentenced. And what do we need to break open? We know this country got racist people in it. We knew that already. History dictates that.
Texas, and it's going to help free wrongly convicted black people who are busy rotting in prison for shit they didn't do because they've had corrupt prosecutors and corrupt judges like Judge Roach. And
I wish I could take this serious, but this music in the background don't do anything for me. Oh my God. Okay, let's get out of this. Oh my God. You know what? Y'all making me mad. Why are we still stuck on this one person? Okay. Now for the Klansmen. We gotta get the Klansmen's insight on this one, you know? We gotta get the Klansmen's insight.
Carmelo Anthony update, and we have some sad news, actually. Judge Chitty Shitty Bang Bang has denied Carmelo Anthony's request for a new trial. This is a bit shocking to me. I figured he would take until Monday to come back. They had just recused Judge Roach, but he's denying a new trial. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. Why would they have all this come out? I don't believe it's been even with what we saw from the Metcalf twins and what we saw with Carmelo Anthony's background. I think, if anything, it made it extremely clear that he deserved a new trial and that the gentleman's handshake was not fair to him at all. So as for now...
Again, it's extremely fair to not bring all this shit up just so that you ain't got to have this shit used against him. Oh...
Now, the 35-year sentence does stand. What do you guys think about this in the comments? I will keep you updated as it keeps coming in, but I'm just honestly in shock. I really believe that he would get a new trial.
It's fine to believe that. A lot of people fucking believe that. But see, the problem with just like randomly believing that is that you have to, I don't know, ignore anything else that could come out.
All right, y'all, we've got a breaking update in the Carmelo Anthony case. The judge has denied Carmelo Anthony's motion for a new trial. So what happens next? Let's pull up a chair. Don't scroll. So listen, hey, y'all, Yolanda here. And listen, I'm popping in for this legal brief real quick because the ruling just literally came down and I wanted to jump right on it. So 19-year-old Carmelo Anthony was convicted of murder in June in the stabbing death of then 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, and he was sentenced to 35 years in prison. So his new legal team asked for a new trial.
Hold on. Either I'm being trolled or we're going to have fun. If a white man is siding about Carmelo, what does that say about you, Leon? Chugging and jiving all because you want to make some money. I haven't made a dime off this. Just so we're all clear. So we're all having the time of our fucking lives. Also, I just think everyone's fucking retarded. No one hears anything. You're all emotional. And he's in jail. I've laid bare what everybody could possibly need to hear. But because I live in a world of absolute stupid people, I think he's trolling, even if he's not. Earlier, I got a motherfucker in here who chose to not want to listen to when I brought up the Metcalf's background, so fuck it, good bait. A lot of people choose to be stupid. And it's a fun moment to be stupid. Troll or not, there are people who genuinely say shit like that. And you could keep saying it. Karmelo's in jail. And unless his defense team could fucking try really hard, he's staying there for 35 fucking years.
And they were raising several alleged errors from the original proceeding. And if you remember this week, the original trial judge, John Roach, had already been recused after publicly saying he believed the jury got it right. So retired Judge Michael Chitty then heard the motion for a new trial this week. And this week's hearing included testimony, not just the lawyers arguing back and forth. And one of the biggest issues involved this off-the-record gentleman's agreement between the prosecutors and the defense to keep out damaging character evidence about both Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf away from the jury, right? So Karmelo's former attorney took the stand, and he said that Karmelo wanted to explain his self-defense claim, but ultimately didn't because there were concerns that arose about whether or not he would be opening the door to damaging evidence against him. So then the defense argues that under those circumstances and some other trial errors, it justified a new trial. The judge said no.
What I walk away from with this is these motherfuckers drastically, and I mean drastically, shouldn't even have agreed to this fucking deal. You should have let this motherfucker stand on the fucking podium and explain his side. Because I still fucking believe, hey, you let him talk, you could get an easier fucking way to swing the jury. Because it's cool hearing from all these different witnesses and all this shit. You could have absolutely had somebody swing their opinion if you hear from Karmelo himself. But it didn't happen, and it royally fucked him.
So Anthony's conviction of the 35-year sentence remains in place at this stage. But here's the legal lesson I want y'all to know. This does not necessarily end the case. Now the shift then focuses on the appellate courts. And to be clear, an appeal is not a new trial. There's no new jury hearing the case from scratch, right? The appellate court reviews the record and asks whether or not legal errors occurred and whether or not there was an error that was so serious enough to affect Karmelo Anthony's rights or the outcome of the trial. So now his attorneys can now challenge issues not only from the original trial, but also from these post-trial proceedings through the appellate process. And the appellate court can either affirm the conviction, reverse it, or send it back to court for additional proceedings. So today's ruling,
I think they might. This defense got to come up with a good argument. Or they keep the argument the same and hope that the appellate court just reviews it and reverses this shit. But if they don't, then what?
closes the door on a trial from this judge. The next question is whether or not the appellate court finds reversible error. And that's where I'll be following once I have a chance to look at the actual long form decision from the judge. So follow me at Attorney Trotman in all things legal.
Nigga, did you misspell coon? Ah, nigga, did you misspell coon? Points deducted. I ain't gonna lie. Points fucking deducted. Points deducted. Points fucking deducted, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, points fucking deducted. Like, I knew what you was spelling the minute you put in C. But then I got confused when the I came in. It's like, what the fuck? You had it, motherfucker. You had it. You had it right there. Oh, I and O are next to each other on the fucking keyboard. So you had it. You had it. And you fucked it up. You bit the hand, Marty. You bit the hand. You bit the hand, Marty. Don't ask me what I'm eating because I ain't telling you. Don't ask me what the fuck I'm eating because I'm not fucking telling you.
Stop what I was doing because I got a notification about the Karmelo Anthony case and that the appeal or whatever it was, petition for a new trial or whatever, was...
Leon, where are you in the red room? Hey. 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 Leave me alone.
Denied. That is fucking crazy, you guys. This is crazy. I'm honestly speechless. Like, I shouldn't be surprised, but I guess I thought because there was national attention that he would get a chance at a fair trial. And
well, no, national attention don't really fucking mean too much. Like, that don't really do too much in the grand scheme. Because you say motherfuckers are crying about how this was unfair. You know who you sound like? The fucking racist whites who think Derek Chauvin got an unfair trial. But you know what's sad? Every time I remember Derek Chauvin, does nobody remember when Ben Shapiro tried to make a docuseries about how Derek Chauvin was treated unfairly and he was going to be the one to try to get a new fucking trial for Derek Chauvin, and then everybody told Ben Shapiro that's not how that works, and this motherfucker has not brought up Derek Chauvin since. Oh my God, bro. A time to be alive. A fucking time to be alive. And quite frankly, it's beautiful. I love when people just think to themselves, all right, we got it all figured out. And then they don't got it figured out at fucking all. No way, no how. Oh. Wait, Ben tried to do... Yes! Yes! That motherfucker tried to make a docuseries about how Derek Chauvin was cheated, but everybody told him that Trump can't free this motherfucker, and he just stopped. Oh, man. Beautiful. Sometimes it's just too fucking cute. Sometimes. Not all the time. All right. Oh, hold on. It's my favorite white guy.
Outside of all the fucking missed opportunities I told you guys about, the reason you don't do this in a trial strategy is because after the prosecution presents its case, you can file a motion for directed verdict, which essentially says the prosecution has not put forward enough evidence to satisfy every element of its case. And Karmelo's attorneys did file a motion for directed verdict. It got denied. It gets denied usually all the time, but that's because they missed opportunities to build their own case to prove that there is no causation, mainly the proportionality causation. The prosecution's theory of the case is that Karmelo just shoved that shit into him, baited him and
Shared skill issue. Sad skill issue. Scared skill issue.
So Karmelo's motion for a new trial was denied. As I told you, I expected in my last video. And as I told you the moment that I read the motion for a new trial, not having any ineffective assistance of counsel claims in it, I knew it was going to be denied the second that I saw it. And I knew everything surrounding this was going to be pomp and circumstance.
Oh, so why didn't you go help him? I love I knew it was going to be this. I knew it was going to be that. Well, if you knew, why didn't you take your happy ass and this wife beater, go to Texas, and help them out? Is it because you really didn't know and it was a flip of the coin? And either everybody was going to be sitting here saying, hooray, they freed him, or, the option we currently have?
And it is the reason I was screaming at the top of my motherfucking lungs, sending that motion to every goddamn body. $50,000 worth of work. Here you go. That's free. Take that. This is the key to get him out. And what did everybody say? Oh, yeah, you think you know more than the Dream Team, bro? These guys are so fucking good. These dudes are... Shut the fuck up.
A white man thinking he know more than black people? No way, white man. No way.
Motherfuckers failed him. That's the bottom motherfucking line. And so I'm still gonna be here. And I didn't...
Doing what? What are you going to be doing? Are you going to now help him? Are you going to now go to Texas to assist him? Or are you just going to sit comfortably in your home?
Send Karmelo that motion beforehand because there was no reason for it. It would have just confused him, and he still has no idea what's fucking going on because everybody in his motherfucking corner that they got lawyer-wise is telling him the wrong shit. Just like I was told. So I will work on this motion, and I will send it to Karmelo with a motherfucking letter explaining to him, telling him the truth.
Oh, how about you send it to his legal team? Because he can't really do too much with that. He can't really do too much with that. It would be better if you send it to his legal team. Fuck it, send it to his parents. Those are infinitely better options.
And giving him the key to get out of that motherfucking jailhouse. But that just cost him 3 to 5 years by not putting those claims in that motherfucking petition. Because even if it would have lost, he could have appealed it. Now we can't appeal the ineffective assistance of counsel claims because they didn't raise them, which means he goes through this appeal, and then after that appeal, if it is denied, he can raise the information that I said should have been raised in this petition in his state habeas corpus in 3 to 5 years.
And hopefully it works out, because if it doesn't, you sitting in your wife beater...
Outside of all the...
Shut up! Just makes it worse. Makes it worse, makes it performative, makes it an effort to not help that man, but instead hinder that man.
Unfortunately, the railroading of Karmelo Anthony continues. Not too long ago today, retired Judge Michael Chitty denied Karmelo's defense attorney's motion for a new trial. This is his statement here. Upon reviewing the motion, the record, the evidence and argument, the briefs and the relevant case law, the court has determined that the motion should be denied. The judge's order states, it is therefore considered, ordered, and adjudged by the court that the motion for new trial is denied. But Karmelo Anthony's new defense team is definitely not going down without a fight, because now they plan to submit his case to the Courts of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit. At the Court of Appeals level, judges will review the trial court's record to determine if legal errors occurred that affected the outcome of the case, which they did. There is no new trial, and no new witnesses or evidence are introduced. So the judges will read the official transcripts and review the evidence from the original trial, because they can't introduce any new evidence. Both sides will submit extensive written arguments detailing how the law or trial procedures were correctly or incorrectly applied. Lawyers from both sides will present their cases directly to a panel of 3 judges and answer their specific questions, and the panel will then vote and issue a written opinion to either affirm the original verdict, reverse it, or order a new trial. It's been a long...
So now we realistically wait again, because however long this process of writing all of this takes, they're going to make sure that it's extensive. They're going to make sure that they don't have an I not dotted and a T not crossed in an effort to go through this process swimmingly. And it's going to come down to 3 judges. Either they say, yay, let's reverse this shit, or Karmelo's staying again. And at that point, I have to wonder again, what's next? Because I know they're not going to give up. They're not going to decide, all right, Karmelo, we tried everything, bro, and we got our money. Bye. Like, they're not realistically going to give up on the kid. They're going to try to find a way to help him. Problem is, if they exhaust themselves and go through every fucking avenue, what is it at the end?
On uphill battle. And this fight is not over. This baby was railroaded, and he defended himself, which every black child is allowed to do, defend them.
Make the subtle argument any child, given the circumstance, is supposed to do that, but LOL.
Themselves when they're approached by bullies and they feel like their lives are in danger. Justice for Karmelo.
Justice for Karmelo. Now, I feel like that's all the fanfare I could possibly stomach. Do we want to look at this fucking Bratz doll theory? Do we? Is anybody possibly? There's no way we possibly want to look at this Bratz doll theory. There's no way. There's no conceivable way we've all decided that we want to look at this Bratz doll theory. I heard just score for oh, shut the fuck up. Should I take legal advice from a white guy and a wife beater? I mean, fuck. About 10 minutes ago, a white guy agreeing was enough. But can we really put too much stock in that if people can't spell? Like, come on. I'm more of a Polly Pocket. Please. 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 Now's not the time. Now's not the time.
The judge denied Karmelo Anthony's request for a new trial. After the hearings held without Karmelo Anthony being present, there were backroom deals made without his knowledge. There was an off-the-record agreement.
That's not true. They definitely told Karmelo about this shit because he acknowledged it during the initial trial. He acknowledged if he understood everything that was going on from his defense attorneys, and he acknowledged that.
Between his former lawyer and the, I guess, prosecution's lawyer to hide Austin Metcalf's background and Karmelo Anthony's background. And the judge who denied the request for a new trial hasn't issued a statement on why.
I mean, fuck, the last time a judge issued a statement, y'all claimed that was unfair, so pick one!
Even after tons of evidence has been presented that Karmelo Anthony did not receive a fair trial and his constitutional rights were violated. Now, this isn't the end of the fight. This does mean that they have to rely on appeals now, and there could be something that could come from the appeals, but it just shows that there's a whole separate system.
I didn't need the Karmelo Anthony trial to know that. I didn't. You want to know how I know I didn't need Karmelo to show me that the justice system is not a well-founded thing? A guy raped 2 teenage girls, and instead of getting 78 years in prison, he got community service. And to make it worse, after fulfilling the requirements of the community service, he got his record cleaned. So when we talk about this justice system, I don't need Karmelo Anthony to prove that. I got history that predates Karmelo to show me that. You know. All right, where's the Bratz dog? Because I didn't save it. Yeah, that still pissed me off. It should. It should piss you the fuck off. Duh. Is this it? No, where I need the original video.
But unfortunately,
oh my God, it's 10 minutes long. Oh. Huh. That shit's 10.
Clothing to Patrick.
I didn't know it was 10 fucking minutes long.
On today's episode of
I didn't know it was 10 minutes long. Okay. Oh, fuck me. Oh, fuck. Fuck
But unfortunately,
me. I don't know. Now I don't know if I want to do this. Now I'm now I don't know if I want to do this now. 2 times speeding.
Unfortunately, my male Bratz doll didn't come with a weaker jawline, and he doesn't have accurate clothing.
I don't want to do this.
On today's episode,
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
On today's episode,
I don't want to do this. 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 Wrong button. I don't want to do this. Don't do it if you don't want to. But you know I want to. You know I got that itch for it, buddy. You know I got that itch for it. Fuck it. Let's just...
Women of the World v. Patrick Clancy. I'm going to prove that Lindsay Clancy's bedroom was staged using Bratz dolls and a shoebox reconstruction of the crime scene because I noticed something that absolutely nobody else has noticed, not even the blood experts. And if they did notice, they strategically omitted it from their testimony because it proves that Lindsay Clancy is innocent. I've managed to semi-accurately dress Lindsay in a black tank top and jeans, but unfortunately my male Bratz doll didn't come with a weaker jawline and he doesn't have accurate clothing to what Patrick was wearing other than the first pair of shoes.
Hey, my Bratz doll is not accurate because the. Okay.
Let's do a quick tour. This is the doorway. This is the navy shelves. This represents the mirror. Blood spot A. This represents the pillow next to the mirror. I've just depicted using just a pencil here just for reference. Blood spot B, blood spot C, and our drawers along with our knife. And I've roughly indicated where the cups were and the spray bottles on the bedside table there. Then we have our Lindsay, the phone on the bed. Excuse the old vintage phone. Wasn't really a thing back when Bratz dolls were made. I saw the theory that Lindsay had the window shut on her neck, but unfortunately I have a more plausible explanation as to what's happened to Lindsay and why her thyroid was crushed, so let's get into it. I've also made sure I can move the bed because it's vitally important, and what kicked this off for me is what I saw when I saw the blood and the bed.
Okay, from the top, I think that the Benadryl in the cup full of lemonade wasn't a suicide attempt, it was a sleep aid.
Goodbye. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not. I can't do it. 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 Get out. Go away. Get out. Go away. Karmelo Anthony's in jail until hopefully in their camp the fucking defense can come up with some good statements. You can't hide the Brad's truth. I don't like. We already dismissed. We dismissed so much so quick. Fucking. Why does any of that? Why does any of this matter? Yeah. I saw enough for my needs. Should we keep going? Like, I'm so tempted to. You know what? I ain't no bitch. I ain't no bitch. I ain't no bitch. I could stomach it. I could stomach this.
You're all alone now!
It kind of just hit me in my fucking ear. LOL. Appreciate you subbing. But oh why? Hit me in my ear, why don't you? Forgot how loud that was. But I appreciate you, Paul the Black.
This is the doorway. This is the navy shelves. This represents the mirror. Blood spot A. This represents the pillow next to the mirror and the spray bottles on the bedside table there. Then we have our Lindsay, the phone on the bed. Excuse the old vintage, but unfortunately I have a more plausible explanation as to what's happened to Lindsay and why her thyroid was crushed, so let's get into it.
Okay.
I also made sure I can move the bed because it's vitally important, and what kicked this off for me is what I saw when I saw the blood and the bed.
Okay, from the top, I think that the Benadryl in the cup full of lemonade wasn't a suicide attempt, it was a sleep aid.
Okay, but you have to prove that. You can't just say you think this, you think that, you think this, you think that. You have to prove that, ma'am. Prove it.
Our Lindsay was sleeping, and she was probably sleeping a long time before this kicked off. What I'm alleging has happened is Lindsay...
Alleging? You're alleging? And look at the caption. You're the type of detective we aspire to be.
Lindsay has been rendered unconscious, and that is what has caused her thyroid injury. The safest thing to do was to turn off the Apple Watch to make sure it wasn't tracking any of her movement, because any movement from her part or lack thereof was going to be suspicious. He took the Apple Watch downstairs with him to the basement, turned it back on, and then used it to send himself a work email so that it would be reasonably explained that he had nothing to do with her Apple Watch activity. Then I'm alleging that he dragged...
So he took an Apple Watch, turned it off, brought it downstairs, and proceeded to turn on the Apple Watch. And I guess from the Apple Watch, I didn't know you could do this, by the way. So if you can do this, and I just didn't know, send an email, a work email, to his laptop, computer, work address, or what is it?
Her unconscious body to the edge of the bed and sat her facing the mirror because he needed to see what he was doing. His plan was to be able to hold her upright and make every single wound look self-inflicted. When he cut her wrist and caused blood spot A, he realized that it's going to be impossible to keep her limp body upright and keep blood off himself, especially if she started to stir from deep pain stimulus in that wrist. So what does he do? He panics. Our Lindsay is still bleeding off the edge of the bed because her hand has been positioned there. She's unconscious, and he moves the bed, which then causes the blood to travel. But
mind you, none of this is like accurate to what actually was discussed. It's been 3 years of this. And nobody is brothers. Oh, it's because they don't understand what's going on. They don't understand the thought. Right? No, it's because this is bullshit.
Explains the blood trail from blood spot A.
What am I watching? You're watching white women try to solve crimes.
Any other black folk want to engage in radical activist language in this fucking chat? Suck my fucking cock.
How perfectly timed is that?
Over here. Next, what does he do? He gets back on the bed, positions our Lindsay back upright. He knows he still can't get any blood on the bed, but he has to make it look like she's up and standing and moving around voluntarily, right? He struggles to fling her unconscious body, which may or may not have caused the only spatter transfer in the bedroom on the mirror. He then maneuvers her body this way.
I am trying so hard not to laugh. I'm supposed to believe that this dude struggled to lift up this woman and I guess maybe throw the bitch out the window.
Getting this blood trail up here and then positions her on the bed, creating blood spot B. After he panicked and dragged the bed, I think that's when the blood spots happened by the door, and that's also when he pressed the push lock with bloody gloves to make sure the kids couldn't come up and interrupt him. So we've left a trail up to blood spot B. I'm alleging that Lindsay's already...
Oh, by the way, I don't think I mentioned this. Yeah, at some point, there was a fucking TikToker who I guess made enough stink to be invited to the trial and speak, not in front of the jury, but in front of, I guess, the attorneys and whatnot. And she fucked up so hilariously. And that is probably why you don't invite these people to investigate.
Bleeding wrist is limp and hanging downwards, and nothing but gravity is causing these passive blood droplets on the floor. So, from here, he realizes it's going to be challenging to grab the knife and return it to this side table, which would be his workstation. So what does he do? Because there was a spatter pattern and some small impact around this little puddle. But now he's got access to that bedside, he can reach it, and he can work on this other wrist. He then cuts her right wrist, which creates blood spot C. I think it's from him with his gloved up hands moving the curtain to the side. So I'm not sure if he did that when he moved the side table or did that just before he put her through the window. It could have been either or, but it's to make room. Same with this curtain here. I'm alleging it was moved out of the way because there's still blood droplets at the base of where the curtains were, but none on the actual curtains. I think he brought her chest up and then he cut her neck, and that's what started the transfer pattern here on the exterior of the window.
You know what's crazy? You might be asking yourself, well, Leon, what's your alternative? The fact that she jumped out the window trying to kill herself?
Next to that,
you know how you could, decide to do that to your wrist and then just start walking around and then decide, hey, the window, I'm high enough. Let's try it.
odd orange silicone or whatever it was on the exterior. And from the inside, this wrist is now bleeding more freely in this direction. And he brings her arm over. Again, so we see this transfer pattern on the interior.
I'm not gonna lie. If I hear he just wanted to prop her up, but she fell out the window, I'm turning everything off.
The window. So once her arms are out, I don't subscribe to the idea that he slammed her neck in the windows because he needed her unconscious well before that. But also, there's no real blood on the center of that window, only transfer on the outside and on the inside, on opposite sides. And it's at least a few seconds that she's dangling unconscious here.
Oh.
Which is where our exterior blood patterns come from. Just these two marks that were obviously from her wrist. And then down here on the ledge of the window, obviously from her hands on the way down. And then he drops her.
Oh.
And there she is outside on the snow.
I can't. No. She's just out there on the snow. Oh.
Well in advance of any of this being put into motion. And there he is. He's finished with Lindsay. And now he has to set the rest of the scene. Now here's my smoking gun.
Are we ready for the smoking gun, boys? That gun better start fumigating.
Curtains are returned to normal. And he starts to examine the room and try to figure out what...
Whose account are we listening to? The witness? No, not at all. No.
Looks unnatural. So he moves the bedside table back to where it was. And what does he do? He doesn't realize no blood on the curtain behind it, which is inconsistent with the amount of action going on the surface of that table. But the most important mistake he made is right down here. Because underneath that side table leg are two perfectly circular passive blood drops from when he was working on her before. And he's just moved this bedside table directly over the top of those blood stains, which means the scene was staged. Because nowhere in this room, in this situation, in any of this blood, in any of this action, nowhere are Lindsay's fingerprints. If she was bleeding and doing all of this herself, her fingerprints would be on either side of this table. He's moved it and put it back.
Pray tell, is anybody's fingerprints on them?
Over those blood droplets unknowing.
Because you would think, like, you know, a piece of furniture in what probably is a bedroom would have both of their fingerprints everywhere.
Any other black folk want to engage in radical activist language in this fucking chat? Suck my fucking cock.
It's the fact that it's just so immediate that just comes up.
As natural as possible, as though she came over here, stood there, cut her wrists and went out the window, when that's obviously not what has happened. Please what you just did, what you just reenacted. Video. I want it to reach Kevin Reddington because this is one of...
You want this to go to the court? Do y'all see why I have such a problem with these people? They come up with nothing but time wasters that don't line up to the actual evidence of what these fucking people are discussing in court currently. And for some ungodly reason, they want to be included in the court case for reason. But fuck it. Since so he's in jail? No! But since Lindsay Clancy is this dainty, innocent soul, Chris Benoit should be exonerated of anything. Fuck it. Since we just live in La Vida Loca and stupid, why not? Gotta get my 8 minutes back? Nah, you ain't get that back. Go away.